Hi, Assalamu alaikum, good morning. Let's continue from where we stopped. Ramadan Kareem, may Allah accept this Ramadan for us as an act of ibadah. So, let's continue. Where is it? So here, there's something here. I have to copy it. Let me copy it. Oh, I can see on my notepad, and then I will paste it. And so here they said consider a program accepting two numbers from the user and displaying the sum of the two numbers using a third variable. So the flowchart for this example is shown here. Look at the question here. They said consider a program accepting two numbers from the user. Consider a program. Just imagine a program accepting two numbers from the user and displaying the sum of the two numbers using third variable. So accepting two numbers, right? Two numbers, 2 and 4, A and B, right? From the user and displaying the sum of the two numbers and then displaying the sum, the addition of the two numbers using a third variable, providing a third variable, just like A plus B is equals to C. Understand? So here it is in a flowchart. So you remember this is a stats diagram, a symbol. Then input A and B consider a two variable, two numbers, right? Here it's because it's flowchart, you don't use numbers, you use letters. You understand? So here this parallelogram is sign of input, right? So this input A, B, two values, two numbers, right? They said um, uh-huh. They said consider a program accepting two numbers, accepting, imputing, right? When you accept something, you are imputing something, right? You understand? So impute A, B, look at it. Two numbers, A and B, because it's flowchart, you don't use numbers, you use letters. So, and then here it's the process, right? Square. One square, rectangle. So this rectangle, this is where you do the process, right? This is where the processing takes place. So AB inputs AB, then they said displaying the sum of the two numbers using a third variable. So using a third variable, it has to be inside the process, right? So it will be C is equals to A plus B, right? Then the parallelogram serves as input and also output, right? So and then display the sum of the two values. When you display it, when you process it, A plus B is shida zai baka C ko? So you display it as C. This is what it will display the sum value. Do you understand? Then when the start and stop is the same symbol, then you stop the program. Do you understand? Please, if you don't, just let me know so that we can do some papers again. And then flowchart. Some of the essential points to be considered while drawing a flowchart are as follows. Initially, concentrate on logic of the problem and draw out of the main part of the flowchart. You know what flowchart is what? Is solving a problem using diagrams, right? Just like the way we solve this problem now. Do you understand? Then maintain consistent level of detail for a flowchart. Consistent level. It must be consistent. Like the size of the what's it called? It must be consistent. When you use A, it should be A. But I'm buying A because I'm buying the Z. No, it has to be A. A. Then must not contain minute details. Only the essential and meaningful steps need to be represented. Right? It doesn't have to contain some of the items of your student team. Minute details. It should just it contains the major important part of your code. You get then common and easy to understand what should be used, just like input, display, output, start, um, stop. So then flow should be from left to right or top to down. Maybe from left to right or top to down. Like ours we did just now is from top to down. So you can make it left to right. It must have only one stop and it must have only one start and one stop. It has to be one start and then one stop. Then it should be simple. It should be simple. Some of the advantages using a flowchart is easy to understand, effective analysis of problem, effective joining of different parts, ease in coding, systematic debugging. Do you know what systematic debugging is? When you say bug is an error. You get debugging is to remove an error. Form, deform. So debugging to clear out. Systematic debugging, like stylishly removing error. Then systematic testing, stylishly testing your program. Yeah, so besides the advantages, flowchart have some disadvantages. It has disadvantage. Time consuming, of course, it's time consuming. Just imagine if you are designing a huge program, a huge software. No, it's time consuming. It will take a lot of time. So you can't use it. Just for example, when software like INEX software, like now Zabi. Take a look at it like a flowchart now, you will waste time. It won't even be effective. Then difficult to change. And it's very difficult to change. Guys diagram. Before you clean it and do another one, it's difficult. No standard, by the standard. You can't use it in sophisticated softwares. Understand? Then the best practice for drawing flowchart are as follows: the direction of the arrow, the drawing flowchart. Like the direction of the arrow should be to one side, either from top to bottom or left to right, or top to down. Standard symbols must be used in flowchart so that it can be understood by all. Like you have to use standard. Wouldn't input you use parallelogram. Wouldn't start you use cycle rectangle with rounded shape. Wouldn't process you use rectangle. So that's it. All the symbols in flowchart must be named appropriately. You have to name them appropriately. Spelling have to be correct. Use connector symbols for complex flowchart. You have to use connector symbols for complex flowchart. Connector that cycle in. Then the size of the symbols used in a flowchart must be consistent. It has to be consistent. Don't take eventually look at start out, you look at stop. It has to be in the same size. So while pseudocode. The word pseudo means false. As the name suggests, pseudocode is not the actual code. It is the method algorithm. So that's just like pseudocode. Pseudocode, the word pseudo means false. They are wrong or Germany, Japan, China, that's Greek language. So the word pseudo means false. As the name suggests, pseudocode is not the actual code. Like it's just right? It is a method of algorithm writing. It is a method of algorithm writing which uses a certain standard set of words which makes it resemble a code. However, pseudocode cannot be compiled or executed as a code. You can put your pseudocode at chicken machine that can find the issue with developing software. It doesn't run. You can't compile it because it's our mode to. It's more of English language, so you can't. It's not a code, and that's why they call it pseudocode, false code. You understand? Each pseudocode must start with the word begin, start, and then end, stop. The same thing with flowchart. You might like the begin, for start, end, and stop. Like the statement between start and end are English phrases. You get because pseudocode are English phrases are indented to make the word start and end stand out. Do you know what indentation is? Indentation is just like indentation. Let me show you what indentation is. Remove this. So indentation. Let's say I have a bunch of writings. Something like this, right? So if I want to indent this, I'll shift it, indentation again. Okay, come back here. I'll shift it. I'll shift it. But before then, I'll come back. I'll shift it. Then here I will put start. Then now I'll put end. So kinga anan yanzu I have indented this right up over there. Indentation kenan. That's why I said settlement between the phrases are indented. Indentation. Kinga wannan start the end suna waje. Start and end stand out while the rubutu suna ciki. So they are indented. So why no rubutun cikin they are what indented? Why not when they are stand out suna waje? So that's how you do it. You can't if I do it like this. If I bring this one to down, that of course it's not indented, right? So I hope you get it. So to display some value, the word display write or print is used to display value, just like that one time we display C, you can write C, print C, or so To accept a value, you use input or read. So here, input is read, while output is what? Write. You get? So the pseudocode shows the process to store a sum of variables, the third variable, and then display the. So you see, here it's the same thing with that scenario here. This scenario, consider a program accepting two values from there. So this is a pseudocode for it. Do you understand? This is a pseudocode for it. Wancan kin ga da zane like diagrams ne muka amfani da shi a can ko. But here we are not using diagram. We are using our normal day-to-day English speaking language. Anything. Do you understand? So look at it here. We begin. We indent our right input A, B, then this is our process C equals to A plus B, and this is our output display C. Begin and end suna nan baya. While rubutun kuma suna ciki. It's indented kenan. Do you understand? So that's how it is. So please, if you don't, you can kindly tell me to explain it again. So a set of instruction or set of pseudocode is collected called construct. So here, why in rubutun chicken as soon as this rubutun chicken and the one called construct. Why not? Construct. So there are three types of programming construct. We have three types of programming construct, namely sequence, the selection, and the iteration. Sequence is deki from this one, like this one now. Daga wannan sai wannan sai wannan. Daga input A, B, sai process, sai output. Shine sequence. While selection is selection construct. That's like conditional statement. Do you understand? If kaza is kaza, kaza is kaza. If kaza is kaza, kaza, choose kaza to kaza, no, kaza is kaza. Do you understand? If you are 20, you are allowed to go to the market. If you are not 20, you are not allowed to go to the market. Selection, condition, can. Then iteration, repetition, repeat. Iteration to repeat. So some of the rules to be followed while writing a pseudocode are as follows. We have the pseudocode must be easy to understand by all and not just the programmer. The variables mentioned in the pseudocode must be self-descriptive. Avoid using abbreviations. Don't use abbreviations. And the pseudocode must not contain actual programming code, but should have only logical steps to show how to operate a code. It doesn't have to contain. In fact, you don't use actual code. You use your normal English, right? Because one thing with pseudocode is that sometimes when you develop a software, you don't have to take the software to the person, or let's say the source code to the person. The person might never understand because maybe he might not be an IT person. So the best thing to do is you write the pseudocode, because when he sees this pseudocode, at least he will understand what the program is, how the program works. You get? So some of the advantages of using pseudocode are as follows: easy to create. Yes, it's easy to create because you don't have to do designing. No symbol, no syntax, no specification. Code. Easy to translate. Once you see it, you understand what I'm doing. Some computer, easy to translate. Reduces time. Of course, it reduces time. You can just you just write it jot it down. Then pseudocode also has its advantage. Everything in this world has its advantage and disadvantage. I don't think is there anything in this world that has no disadvantage if it has advantage. Is there? I don't think so. Maybe there is. I don't know. So disadvantages of pseudocode: lack of standard. Of course, it's not of standard. Then do not focus on the big picture. You can use it in sophisticated software. Best practices for writing pseudocodes as follows: the vocabulary used to write a pseudocode must be simple. You have to make it simple. Don't do grammar. It doesn't know grammar. Then each statement in the pseudocode must be written in a specific line. Go on the statement. It has to be in a separate line. Like when you put end, start, baraka zo nan ka sa, like zo nan ki sa input A B ba. You get, like zo nan ki sa input A B ba. It has to be in a separate line. You get. Kuma the process too again, you don't baraka zo nan ka sa C is equals to A plus B bar. No, it has to be separate line. C is equals to A plus B. So that's it. Um, Use descriptive names that also can be understood by non-technical persons. You have to use descriptive names like start or SMA start. Even though person no go school, there's some what to start. So you have to use something that everybody understand. Maintain consistent when using generic terms such as display, print, and when you can and bind display throughout. Just use display. In print, you can bind display. You have to use the print throughout. Then indent the statement. You have to indent the statement. Then summary. This is the summary. So blah blah blah. If you have any question on this, you can ask me. Let's display keyword is used to display some value of the user in a flowchart. Oh, where is this? This is selection construct. Yeah, selection construct. I'm looking selection. If kaza is kaza, kaza is kaza. You understand? So objective of this session is explain if statement, explain if else selection construct, explain multiple selection statement, explain nested if else statement, explain case construct. So a programmer may come across a condition in the program where the path of execution can branch into two or more options. Such constructors are referred to as programming selections, conditional or branching constructors. So a programmer, you know who a programmer is, right? Someone who develops software, websites. So a programmer may come across a condition in the program where the path of execution can branch into two or more options. Such constructs are referred to as programming selection, conditional or more branching construct. So here it is. Over here is it, over here this is, or this is whatsoever. Then the if construct is a basic selection construct. Now consider an example where the customer is given a discount if purchases of over $100 are made. Each time a customer is billed, a part of the code has to check to see if the bill amount exceeds $100. If it does exceed the amount, then it must deduct 10% discount of the total amount. Otherwise, nothing must be deducted. Just for example, you want to go for Ramadan shopping, then they in the mall they said, okay, anyone who buys things over 100,000 naira or $100,000 or $100, we are going to give him 10% discount. If you buy things of more than $100, more than 100,000 naira, we are going to give you 10% discount. Just, are you getting it? If selection can, all right? Condition. In kuma baka sai abin da ya kai 100,000 ba za mu baka 10% discount ba. Do you understand? That is condition. That's if condition. Do you understand? So this is serial code. If customer purchases items worth more than $100, give 10%. Wannan serial code. Perfect. Kina ganin wannan kowa zai gane shi. Kowa ya gane wannan kuma is a serial code. It's an English word, right? If customer purchases items worth more than $100, give 10% discount. So if condition, then statement, then and if. That's it. So the example is the if construct to find whether a number is even or not. And this is another example. Let's check if the number is even or not. Begin, then after begin, then what input number, after input number, then remainder is equals to number mod 2. You know what number mod 2 is? If remainder is 0, display number is even. And if. So let's try and see what this one is. I wish we were in class. I would have just used marker and leave the stuff there. But here I have to. Let's see. Wannan rem ɗin is the same thing as remainder ne ko remainder. How do you spell remainder? How can I spell remainder? Remainder 2 and 2 remainder 1 they taught us in primary school. So shine remainder. So that this remainder, right? So they said rem, after you input the number, then rem is equals to number mod 2. Number mod 2. Let's say one number kenan ko, one number, this number, then this is the number mod 2. Look at it. Rem is equals to number mod 2. Let's say the number the guy imputed, the number you impute is 4. Are you seeing it? Then mod 2. Do you know what mod is? Modular arithmetic. Sure, can remember then the two mathematics. Don't confuse yourself. It's not a big deal. So 4 mod 2 is the same thing as saying 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is what? Is equals to 1. So 4 mod 2 is 1 remainder, 1 rem, 0. Do you get it? 4 divided by 2 is what? 1 remainder, 0. So if rem is equals to kinga rem in 0, so our rem here is equals to, in 4 over 2, in 4 divided by 2, our rem is equals to 0. You understand? In 4 divided by 2, our remainder is equals to 0. So if remainder is equals to 0, display number is even. 0 of course is an even number, right? So if rem is equals to 0, our rem anang 0. So if our rem is equals to 0, display number is even. Then end if, end begin. And one and if and then end one and begin and something. Do you understand? You understand? So for example, the person imputed 3. Say 3. So it will be rem is equals to 3 mod 2. So it will be what? 3 divided by 2, which is equals to 1 remainder 1. Oh? 3 divided by 2 is equals to 1 remainder 2. So 1 remainder 1. If rem is equals to 0. So here our rem is equals to 1. So it doesn't fall in. So maybe later on you'll see how to get to this. So do you understand? And then this is a flowchart for it, for the pseudocode. Start impute number, start impute number. Then here is the process, one machine formula, right? Rem is equals to number mod 2. Is rem equals to 0? If rem is equals to 0, display number is even. Then stop. Stop the program. Do you understand? One decision, one machine selection, then one machine condition. Do you understand? So that's it. So a C language, a C programming language, look at how it is. The syntax for the if statement in C language is as follows: if condition then statement. Then machine in a C programming language syntax. Don't worry, we'll come to that. So if else statement. So else statement, if else statement. If else statement. So if else statement enables a programmer to make single comparison and execute. Sun ce mana if rem is equals to 0 kawai shine muka yi wannan. But ba mu condition da okay, what if rem is not equals to 0? What will happen? Kin ga ba su ba mu ba. So shine anan aikin amfani else kenan. Else if rem is not equals to 0 kuma fa me zai ba mu? Kin gane ma'anar else din kenan. So that's it. If condition statement set 1 else statement set 2, this is the statement as follows. If condition statement else, if rem is equals to 0, print kada kada kada. If rem is equals to 0, print even number. else if it is not equal to 0, then print odd number. Do you understand? That's it. So here is it. This is syntax here in according. If condition bracket or curly braces then not to else, then this is how the syntax is. Then a more efficient code. So shi kuma ga pseudo code din sannan kin gane, begin input number, rem number, remainder is equal to number mod 2. If rem is equal to 0, display even number. Kin ga mun yi wannan da so. So else if it is not equal to 0, da ma'anar shi kenan. Else if rem is not equal to 0, but you don't have to write it. Kin gane ba sai kin rubuta if rem is not equal to 0. Kawai else display odd number. Look at it here. The guy imputes 3. So 3 mod 2 is 3 divided by 2 is equals to what? 1, remainder 1. Kinga our remainder is equals to 1. So this one falls under what? Else. So it will print what? Odd number because rem is equals to 1. Kinga, do you understand? That's it. So here is the pseudocode. Kinga starts input number, then this is the process. Is rem equals to 0? Yes, it's equals to 0. Then display number is even. Is rem equals to 0? No. Then display number is odd. Do you understand? Is rem equals to 0? Yes, rem is equals to 0. Then display number is even. Parallelogram input output. Parallelogram input the output diagram is so is rem equals to 0? No, it's not equals to 0. Then display number is odd. So this one falls under number is odd. You understand? Then stop the program. Then AND statement. Well, yes, and the AND statement can be used in conjunction, which is of course AND. So now to classify. To classify a supplier as a most valuable supplier, MVS, the organization must check that the supplier has been with them for the last 10 years. To classify a supplier as MVS, most valuable supplier, the organization must check that the supplier has been with them for the last 10 years. Kafin su bashi matsayin shine most valuable supplier, organization has to duba cewa he has to be with them for the last 10 years. Na farko kenan. And statement, and has done a total business of more than $5,000, 50,000, 500,000. What's this? $500,000. Do you understand? Kinga condition guda biyu kenan. Na farko me? Sai ya aiki da su for 10 years. Na biyu kuma ba sai ya musu business in more than $500,000. Kafin su bashi me most valuable supplier. So these two conditions must be satisfied to consider him to be an MVS. It's a most valuable supplier. Do you understand? So here it is. Pseudocode impute begin. Impute yes with us. Impute yes with us. Maybe 10 years equal 4 years. Input business done with us. Input business done. Maybe $50,000, $500,000 maybe. So if years with us is greater than or equals to 10 and business done is greater than or equals to $500,000, greater than or equals to go 10 go more than 10. Business done in Mashima go $500,000 go more than $500,000. Display classified as an MVS. Aha. Kinga ya meeting requirement, ya meeting condition. Else in maybe 5 years business done in maybe $20,000 Kingani display a little more effort required. Kingani a little more effort required. Else can he didn't meet the requirements, the condition, sorry. Do you understand? Then end if and then end statement. So this one is the source code, C programming source code. If yes and business done is greater than print F classifies as an MVS. Else print then nested if. So if you want to use nested if statement, nested if in ba ka so ka amfani da and operator, and if you don't want to use and sai ka amfani da nested if guda biyu kenan waje daya. And a nested if is an if statement written inside another if statement. Kin gani? Kin ga ɗazu a yi amfani da and ne a nan, amma nan kuma kin gani if years with us is greater than or equals to 10, ɗazu and aka yi amfani da shi, amma nan kuma sai aka ƙara sa wani if nan. If business down is greater than 5,000, display classified as an MVS. Else, display a little more effort required. Kin gani? Then another else, a display a little more effort required. Kin gani? Else ɗin guda biyu ne, tunda dai if ɗin guda biyu ne ko? So that's it. And end if, end your program. So please, if you don't understand, please you can ask me anytime, any this time. So this is the flowchart. Starts input years with us, biz done. Kin gani nan guda biyu ko? Years with us, document business done. Is years with us greater than or equal to 10? No. Display a little more effort required. Is years with us greater than or equal to 10? Yes. Yes? Yes. Okay, let's check the other one too. Is business done with greater than 5,000? Yes. Display classified as no. Display a little more effort required. Then you stop the program. So case, the do case statement, shima kama if if statement is used when a variable is to be successively compared against different values. The do case is also known as switch case statement. So we come to this sustain. Shi kuma ga yanda yake, shi ma kamar yanda switch if condition yake, shi ma ka yake. Kin ga a can if ake sawa nan kuma sai a sa switch, sai condition. So summary, this is a summary of the session. And statement, breaks out to its case, subtract. Read the summary, read the slides. If you have any challenge, question, anything, ask me. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye bye.